Have you ever felt so betrayed, so wronged, that all you could think about was getting even? That burning desire for revenge, the kind that consumes your every waking thought. Today, we're diving into a story about a man who stood on that very precipice, a moment away from unleashing a storm of retaliation that would have changed everything. This isn't just a story about business. It's a story about the battle that rages within all of us. It's a modern-day parable I call the missed call. Picture this, a CU. Let's call him David. David wasn't just a boss. He was a mentor, a friend. He'd built his company from the ground up, not with cold, hard cash, but with sweat, heart, and a genuine belief in the people he brought on board. His right-hand man, Michael, was more like a brother. David had found him when he was just a fresh-faced graduate, full of ambition but lacking direction. David took him under his wing, taught him everything he knew, and trusted him with the company's most sensitive secrets. They celebrated wins together, they weathered losses together. For 10 years, they were an inseparable team. But one day, the unthinkable happened. David started noticing things were off. Clients were pulling out, deals were mysteriously falling through. The numbers weren't just bad, they were catastrophic. He dug deeper, and the truth hit him like a physical blow. Michael, the man he'd trusted implicitly, had been systematically sabotaging the company from the inside. He'd been stealing clients, leaking proprietary information to a competitor, and was planning to launch his own rival firm, built on the ruins of David's life's work. The betrayal was absolute. It wasn't just business, it was personal. The pain was a sharp, jagged knife twisting in his gut. Every memory of their shared history now felt like a lie. Every laugh, every word of encouragement was tainted. The trust, once a solid foundation, had crumbled into dust, and in its place, a dark, consuming anger began to grow. David's mind, once filled with strategies for growth and innovation, now became a war room dedicated to one single objective: revenge. He locked himself in his office, the blinds drawn, shutting out the world. The whiteboard, usually covered in business plans, was now a map of Michael's life. David's team, loyal to him, brought him everything he needed. They tracked Michael's finances, his new business partners, his vulnerabilities. David found the perfect weapon. He discovered that Michael's new venture was funded by a single, massive loan, personally guaranteed with everything. Michael owned his house, his savings, everything. And David found the leverage to make that loan get called in with a few keystrokes, a few phone calls. David could obliterate him. Not just his new company, but his entire life. He could make him feel the same humiliation, the same desperation that he was feeling. He would be ruined, professionally and personally. The plan was perfect. It was surgical. It was final. David's finger hovered over the send button on an email that would set the whole thing in motion. His heart pounded in his chest, a drumbeat of imminent victory. This was justice. This was payback. In that moment, his office felt like a vacuum. The air was thick with the weight of his decision. He pictured Michael esi faci when hidi. Get the call, the panic, the despair. The thought brought a grim, fleeting satisfaction. But then, something else flickered in the darkness of his mind. It was a memory, faint at first, then clearer. It was his grandmother, a woman of deep and gentle faith, reading to him as a child from an old worn Bible. Her voice, calm and steady, echoed across the years. He couldn't remember the exact chapter, but the words were as clear as if she were sitting right there beside him. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. The phrase hung in the air, a stark contrast to the venom in his heart. Do not be overcome by evil. He looked at the email on his screen, at the intricate web of destruction he had so carefully woven. He realized with a sickening jolt that he had been completely and utterly overcome. The betrayal had poisoned him, and he was about to spread that poison. He was becoming the very thing he despised. The anger was still there. The hurt was still real. But for the first time in weeks, another feeling broke through, a deep, profound sadness. This path of revenge wasn't a path to victory. It was a path to self-destruction. It wouldn't heal his wound. It would only deepen it, trapping him in a cycle of bitterness. He would win the battle, but lose his soul. In that moment of clarity, David realized what he had to do. It was the hardest thing he'd ever done. He slowly moved his cursor away from the send button and dragged the email to the trash. He deleted the files, the research, the entire plan for revenge. It felt like letting go of a massive weight he didn't even realize he was carrying. He didn't call Michael. He didn't confront him. He simply let him go. The next few months were incredibly difficult. David had to rebuild his company piece by piece. He had to face the financial fallout, the lost clients, the whispers in the industry, but something had changed within him. Instead of being fueled by anger, he was fueled by a quiet determination. He focused on his remaining team, on the clients who had stayed loyal, on the core values he had almost forgotten. He chose to build, not to destroy. He was overcoming evil, not by fighting it on its own terms, but by choosing a different path. He was overcoming it with good. He was rebuilding his company with integrity, with renewed purpose. It was a slower, harder road, but it was a road that led to peace, not more conflict. And what about Michael? Months later, David heard through the grapevine that Michael's new company had failed spectacularly. His partners had been unreliable, and his business practices, built on a foundation of deceit, couldn't sustain themselves. He had destroyed himself. No help from David needed. This story, The Missed Call, is a powerful illustration of Romans 12:21. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. When we're wronged, the instinct to retaliate is so powerful. We feel that responding with equal or greater force is the only way to find justice. But this verse offers a radical, counterintuitive wisdom. It tells us that engaging in evil, even in response to evil, means we've already lost. We've allowed the darkness to overcome us. The true victory, the true power, lies in choosing a higher path. It means refusing to let someone else's actions dictate our own character. Overcoming evil with good isn't about being weak or passive. It's an act of immense strength and courage. It's about breaking the cycle. David could have crushed Michael, but he would have crushed a part of himself in the process. By choosing to step back, he saved his own soul. He chose to build rather than demolish, to heal rather than to wound. Think about your own life. Are there hurts or betrayals that you're holding on to? Is there a desire for revenge that's quietly eating away at you? Maybe it's not a business rival, but a friend who betrayed your trust, a family member who wronged you, or someone who spread lies about you. It's so easy to become overcome by that bitterness. But what if you chose to overcome it with good? This doesn't mean you have to forget what happened or pretend it didn't hurt. It means you make a conscious choice not to let that evil define you or your response. It means focusing your energy on building, on creating, on kindness, on your own growth and healing. It's about taking back your power, not by attacking the other person, but by controlling your own heart and actions. This is the path to true freedom and lasting peace. It's a difficult call to answer, but it's the one that truly matters. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that explores faith in our modern world. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever faced a similar choice? How did you handle it?